Okay, welcome to Google Classroom Workshop number 2. This one will focus on announcements and assignments. And this is also part of the instructional videos for my one-to-one classroom project as part of my master's program at Cornerstone University. My name is William Hopper, and I will endeavor to learn more about the wonderful world of Google Classroom. The first thing we're going to look at today will, of course, be making announcements. There are very many practical uses for announcements. It can help you post notes, promote upcoming events, you can provide rubrics, and you can push links and videos to your students. Also with announcements, you'll have access to Google Drive and Google Apps. You have easy access to YouTube video and simple access to internet links. Okay, now we'll go to Google Classroom. And we'll choose our class. And here on our stream, we'll go to our choices. Now, this is important. The basic functional menu, of course, as we put things on the stream, you have your first option here is create announcement, then create assignment, create question, and then reuse post. Right now, of course, we're going to look at creating an announcement. Title you can put in here. If you want, you can add a topic. So I can type in a simple instruction. In this case, telling the students to remember to collect their fundraising money tomorrow. And I can simply post that. And there it is right on the stream. And of course, you can go back and edit it if you want. You can delete it, or you can copy the link and send it somewhere else. Now, another feature, of course, you can create an announcement that includes other media. It can include a Google document, a Google slide, or even a YouTube video or a link to something else you would like. So that's entirely up to you, and we'll look at a couple examples of that. So if we go to our Google Drive icon, just post something like this, and put a title in. I could have my students read an example paper on a unit of instruction, so they can access that and look at that, and I can post that. I can create another announcement. So in this case, I have a link to, I entitled the announcement English Standards link, and its topic is curriculum standards, and right here I have a link to Common Core English Standards, so the students can press the link and it'll take them right to English Arts Standards for reading, grade 11, 12. So they have that opportunity to do that. So students can go right to the link. And of course, another option, and this is pretty much true also for your assignments, and we'll look at those in a second. And of course, another thing you can do is add an announcement that includes a YouTube video. So I can just go here to the YouTube, and if I already have, I can either search for a video, or if I already have the URL copied, or I know the URL, I can just place it here. And you see there it pops right up, Thrive Digital Teaching and Learning in 1-1 environment. I can hit add. All right, so I put a little title in, saying one-on-one learning video. I can have a topic, one-on-one classroom. Um, then, of course, up here, I can choose if I want to give it to all the students or just one student. So once I'm done with that, I can simply post, and it's ready to go. Okay, so the next thing we're going to look at will be assignments. And in assignments, you'll be doing much of the same things that you did with making an announcement. This, of course, the assignments you'll have an expectation of the students doing something and turning it in. And also you can give them documents for them to work on, or just have them work on a document all on their own and then turn it into you and then submit it to you. So we will look at that, and as we look into it, we're going to look at the basic options or functions that you have on Google Classroom when making an assignment. You're going to see how to set the date, of course the topic, and also any instructions you may have for the student. All right, so going back to our classroom, we have our menu down here, and we'll go up to create assignment. So this, of course, is your assignment screen, and you will type in your title, any instructions. We'll go here, choose the due date, and then, of course, up here, you can choose which students you want the assignment to go to, and we will look at those right now. All right, so I've typed in a title, you in Google Classroom, and the instructions: write one paragraph or create a 5-frame Google slide about your previous Google Classroom or online learning experience. Then, of course, clicking here, I can create a date or time for it to be due. Or you can go with no due date, just keep it blank. If you click on that though, then you can choose a due date. Or up here, we can choose if we want to keep it with all the students or just pick out, let's give it to one or two. In this case, we'll just give it to all of them. And then we can, of course, assign it. There are actually 3 options you have in posting your assignment. The first one, of course, we chose was the instant posting. You also have the option of scheduling it, and you may save it as a draft, and now we'll look at those options as well. So once again, we go to our function menu, we hit create assignment, and then we will create another assignment. Okay, so I create another assignment. This one says simply read your handbook. There are no instructions because it's pretty straightforward. I'm going to assign it to all the students, so no change there. Due date was, go with 13th. And then we come over here to assign. Now, previously, we just hit the assign button and it instantly posted the assignment on our stream. But you have 2 more options. One is schedule and one is save as draft. Now, scheduling means you can set a time and date that you want your assignment to show up, because you may not want them working on the assignment outside of the classroom, or it's the type of assignment you want done as a group in the classroom, or you just want them to be working on the assignment during class time where you're in person and able to help them. So you simply hit schedule, and as you see here, it has November 13th, 2017. It has a time. We can change the time, or we can change the date by going to the calendar. But everything looks, in this case, we'll just keep it there and just hit schedule, and we'll schedule it. And when you schedule something, it'll be up here in the saved post area. So we click on this, and we see that's the assignment we just scheduled. Read your handbook. So it's right there, and you see it will pop up on November 13th at 8 a.m. Now, if you want, you can click on it, and we can come up here and change the time. We can make it for November 10th, and we can change the time to this is a couple minutes ahead, so we can actually see it pop up. So it has changed the date and time to November 10th at 4:27, so that way we can actually see it as it comes up on the stream again. So we'll schedule it, and see, as you can tell, there is hidden right now, and it's scheduled to pop up at 4:27. Okay, so the stream has just indicated that the assignment that we saved has this is now available on the stream. So we can just hit show, and it will show us the update. And of course, another way you can do that is just by hitting the refresh button, and that will do the same thing. Now, another thing you can do, and let's go ahead and create another assignment. The other option, of course, is that you can save an announcement or even an assignment as a draft. And so we will do that right now. So by saving something as a draft, that gives you an option where it will just keep it in your saved post, but it won't be seen by your students. So it's one way to keep something that you may want available to yourself on that classroom page, but that you don't necessarily want available to the students. For example, you have a set of notes that you just want hidden until you're ready to use them, and you want them there ready for your use whenever you want them, or you have an assignment that you want them to do, but it all depends on when some other things get done. It's there ready for you to post whenever you want to post, and so you don't have to necessarily schedule it per se, especially if you don't know exactly when you'll be able to use it, or if you just want to keep it hidden. We can save it as a draft, and of course you can make any attachments to it as you want. So we hit save draft, and there it is under the save posts, and there it remains until we decide what we want to do with it. And of course you can do the same thing with announcements. One of the great and important features of Google Classroom is the ability to add attachments to your assignments. And when you do this, there are basically three options that you have. And you have the view only, anyone in the classroom can edit option, and then the third one, you send out individual copies to each student. We will look at each of these individually and see how they are used in your classroom with the students. All right, so I'm creating an assignment in which I'm going to add an attachment. I'm going to add a Google Slides attachment. So I can just add, Google Classroom Workshop 1 slides. Now, once I do that, and I have the choice here of choosing three different options. As we mentioned before, the students can view file, students can edit file, and they can make a copy for each student. So on the first option, this one we're going to use, students can view file. Now, you use this if you don't want them changing the document you're giving them as part of the assignment. In this case, I don't want them changing the Google Slide notes about Google Classroom. So I want to make it a view only file. So I just press this, and then I assign it, and we're all set. On a side note, I would say if you're using Google Chrome and Google Classroom as the primary means of your one-on-one program, you should get used to using the Google apps, especially the Google Drive apps in relation to especially documents and Google Slides. because that is easy to share, it's easy to place up onto the classroom stream, and definitely should be the priority, the main thing that you should use, and have your students use it too, of course, because it's so much easier to share and link up and post onto the stream, and for them to post and send to you as well. So having done that, let's look at another option. Let's create another assignment. This time will be one in which we have the option for editing. Okay, so I've created another assignment. This time is class notes on sentence fragments and run-ons, and the instructions say that each member of the class will create a slide containing one rule and an example about fragments and run-ons. So I have the attached slides, and so students will be able to go on here. So what I'm going to do though, as a class, each member would be able to get on and edit and change the document. So each member of the class that this is being sent to can actually get on and edit. So if you want that as a group project, for collaborative work, you could do this for creating a maybe class dictionary, or a slide project, or several other options that you can use. This is the function you want to do. You can create an attachment for them to log on to, and all of them can make their own, and all the students can make their own contributions to it. So I click this, students can edit file, and then I sign it, and students will be able to do that. So for this assignment, we have attached the Google document as a worksheet. And so I want each student to get on to the document and provide answers and make changes individually. So in order to do that, I have to choose make a copy for each student. So basically though, what happens, this enables each student to edit the document on their own. Making a copy for each student allows each student to get a copy and then make it their own copy basically, and follow the instructions hopefully that you give them, and then send it back to you. So when I first started with Google Classroom, the first couple times I kept getting confused on that, because I thought students can edit file would be the one to send. You wanted students to work on it, but in actuality that's only for group work, or to have every student have access and editing power. But this is what you want to do if you just want individuals to do it. So we will pick this one, and each student will get their own copy and fill out the questions and on their own and send it back. So we will assign this. And as you can see on the stream now, we have those assignments that I just posted there on the stream. So now we can see all those. So now we can see those 3 assignments on our stream. So even after we post an assignment, there are 3 very important features that we can still utilize if necessary to make changes that we might want to a given assignment. And we will look at those 3 right now. So now we have them posted. Now when you go, we can click on any of these assignments, and I'll click on the last one we just put up there. And as you see here, we have on the left-hand corner the list of all the students it's been given to, and since there's only 3 students in this example classroom, all 3 students receive the assignment. And so we have that option. Up here you have the point total for each assignment. As you can see, the default setting on Google Classroom is 100 points. We can change that by simply going up here, and we can either have it ungraded, meaning we're not taking it for a grade, or we can actually go in and change the point total. So we've changed it to 20 points, and that looks good. So we'll just go with that. And then it will ask you, like it did, if you wanted it ungraded. If you want to keep it ungraded or not, you can say yeah or no. Maybe we'll go ahead and update it, make it a 20-point value. One very important posting feature that you can utilize and should utilize as well. So let's look at another important feature. Just go back to the classroom. And one thing you can do, of course, is clicking on this, you can have several options here. You can edit, delete, or copy the link if you want to copy the link and put it on our classroom page or share it with. But we are going to pick on edit, and this allows us to do a couple of different things. One of the important things you can do, and one of the very important features of Google Classroom that teachers can utilize is the ability to individualize an assignment. So in this case, we can go in here, we can choose one student, or we can just choose two of the students for it to go to. So it really, Google Classroom really does give you the option to have the ability to individualize assignments and change and alter things as necessary. In this case, let's keep it the way it is. But if I wanted to, I could hit that button and then click save, and it'll only go to those two students. So let's go ahead and do that and see what, and just make it those. So we can just click on those two students and have it save. So they will be the only ones getting it. So now if we click on it now, as you see here, it says there's two students that haven't done it yet, or there are two students who have not completed the assignment, and we can, because we only sent it to two students, and we can look and see now, instead of having all three students that were in the classroom listed, we only have the two students. And right here is each, and right here is their individual copies of the assignment. And so, when they see it, of course, they can click on it, and you can click on it then and see what progress that student's made. And so if the student had actually typed anything in there, you could see that, and you could make some changes, and we'll be talking about that more in the next video. So going back here, now looking at editing again, so we can go through and change the title, we can edit the instructions, we can add a due date we like, we can even add a topic, we could add a link or a video. But unfortunately, what we can't do in this mode of editing, we can't change how it's going to be viewed. We can't change it to view only, or where it can be edited by all the students, or in this case, we're stuck with each student will get a copy. But one way around that is a useful tool called reuse post. So in this one, I can select the class and see what posts are in that classroom, and I can come in here and change the document. So let's go back to this one. We can reuse this. So with the reuse option, we have all the same features and functions we have with editing, with the additional ability to change how we want it sent out. We can have it as a view, we can change it to view only, we can change it to students can edit file, or we can make it copy for each student. So you have the option. Also, you can go back and actually schedule it. Whereas before, if it's already assigned, you can't go through and do that either. You have to stick with the fact that it's already assigned. So by reusing it, we can do that. And you can schedule it or whatever you want to do there. In this case, I'm going to keep it the same way, where all students can edit the file. And then I can add it to a schedule. And it'll go to the schedule. And so we see it right there being scheduled. Now, so then we have the option, I can just go through here and delete it. That way I don't have two copies of the same thing. Or I can just go up here and hit the X button and delete that. So those are very important features that you have. So if you post something and say you accidentally send it out as view only, but you wanted it to be something that all the students can use, or you want to send it out as individual copies for each student to change individually, you can just simply go to reuse or reuse the document, make the changes you need, and you can delete the old one. Yeah, for some reason Google Classroom doesn't allow you to go in and change how it's going to. Does not allow you to change the access given to the students for an assignment that you've already posted. So that's one little flaw, but you can easily get around that with the reuse button as well. And another feature too, if you do have more than one classroom, you can reuse an assignment from one class into the next class as well. So thank you for watching this video. I hope it was helpful to you, and hopefully it will help you make your way around all the different options you have in Google Classroom and sending out assignments and announcements to your students. Thank you once again, and this is William Hopper signing off.